shack. It's a little night.
It's a little
Don't go
man's
to the
room.
men's room covered in blood. We don't know what he has.
Welcome to the Beacon House Podcast, recorded live in Knoxville, Tennessee.
And that's why I think the older you get, the more sexualized Fig Newtons become. Look at him.
Oh my God, that is so true though.
It is.
That's a great point.
It is. It's like you get into your 40s, it's like a nice warm cup of coffee, a couple Fig Newtons, and then just Pound Town.
Did you say Pound Town?
Yeah. Hey,
Well-
just because you're 40 and older doesn't mean you can't go to Pound Town.
Thanks. Thanks for reminding me of that. Anyway, this is the Beacon House Podcast, everybody. Thank you for tuning in, and welcome to Pound Town, apparently. My name's Spence.
I'm Hunter.
I'm Casey.
All right. And guys, we're very, very excited today. And I'm not just saying that. We're very excited today. We have a very special
means it this
guest.
time.
I actually mean it this time. Well, wait, the time before was Keith, and we love Keith too. So maybe I've always meant it. I'm just that excited about you two fucking guys.
Oh,
But
sorry.
anyway, we have a very dear friend of mine, and it's super talented Knoxville legend, Valerie Buckner, is here with us today. And Valerie, wouldn't you go ahead and introduce yourself to the people?
Well, I mean, Spence, it's not Buckner anymore.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was
You
going.
I mean,
jerk.
I know. Listen, Smiley Guy's not going to be so smiley.
I
when
go
he
by
hears that
by
you-
Dirty. I feel like Dirty's listening right now. Steve.
I hope so.
Well, Dirty Steve is
Is
he's
your-
going to come
so
to
you-
Pound Town and beat the hell out of you now.
And back again to Pound Town. Okay, I got it. Okay, so more appropriately, Valerie Buckner Tippett.
Yes.
I'm not good at hyphenated names.
No, that's
why,
okay. Listen,
you know.
I forgot what it is. They don't tell. You know what? When you no, I'm not kidding. Because I don't say. I call him Steven. I don't, but they don't tell. You don't think about it changing your name. I mean, my last name was Buckner for a really long time, and should I say how old I am? But
No, you don't have to.
just keep the
I think for
allure
you it's
alive.
I think for you it's okay. For us,
For
people are
25
like,
years, it's been Buckner, and we got
thank
it.
you.
Yeah.
yeah. When people find out how
But
old
then
you are, they go, "Oh,
then
you look
don't
great."
think about it, and then you have to change your name, and now you go by something different, and that is very weird. And I didn't even I didn't think about it. I didn't practice signing it.
Is
it
the
looks
sign-
so bad. It looks so stupid.
You have a whole new signature.
Yeah, you have
So
to.
it's like Valerie Buckner, and then dash is like Tippett, and you're like,
Well,
oh man,
I
that
did.
looks
Well,
so.
no, it was funny. The lady at the DMV, she like totally she just got rid of my middle name. My middle name is Pauline, and I'm named after my grandmother. And the woman, I said, well, my middle name is Pauline. She's like, oh, okay, so you probably just want to get rid of that, right? And just put it down. I was like, oh my God, okay.
Damn.
So I was trying to
know.
etch that
I
out.
was like, I said, well, I mean, she does have dementia now, so I guess she'll never know. I guess it's fine now. Thanks, lady.
That is true, though.
That's a true story.
No, all
So,
love,
anyways,
that's
I'm
true.
Valerie Buckner Tippett now.
Valerie Buckner Tippett,
That's the
Pauline
history of my
Shecky.
name now.
The greatest singer that I know.
Oh,
Sorry,
Lord.
Hunter.
Zing. Don't worry, you've got a couple years to catch up, okay? It's fine. No, Valerie is a singing sensation. I mean, she's anybody that lives in Knoxville has definitely heard her sing. And you were from a very, very popular local band called the Pop Rocks, which was lights out, just, a new level of cover band in Knoxville, and you guys played everywhere.
Absolutely.
And your catalog was so massive, and you did so many songs from so many different years and so many different eras, and you did them all perfectly, and it was incredible. And now the new band that you're singing with is called the Boogie Nights.
Yeah.
Featuring some of the same members and an additional couple of guys. Could you tell us a little bit about that, about like the lineup change or whatever?
Yeah. Well, me and Chris Cook was the original Pop Rocks guitar player.
Yes.
And we all know and love us some Blackie Rose.
Absolutely.
And
or Cookie. Some people call
or
him Cookie.
Yeah, he was originally Cookie.
I've heard him called all kinds of things all the
I
time.
know.
Oh, you know Chris Cook? Yeah, old angler. You're like,
Was he the one that did the Panama cover with Spencer at like the Tin Roof way back in the day?
yes.
Where he got up there and just went nuts with
the way he
Halen's
introed
Panama.
that. What they're talking about, by the way, Chris decided he wanted to sing the Van Halen song Panama, but he wanted to really get out front and David Lee Roth the whole thing. So he had me play it on guitar. And when I went up to play it, he introduced it. He told the audience, he said, I shouldn't be attempting this, but I'm the one with the microphone. So like tough shit. And then he just did it.
The microphone gives you so much power.
True.
I love
This is
that.
true.
It's great.
Yeah.
But now, so now you guys talk about how the catalog is a little bit different. You guys are a little more specific.
Well,
in Boogie
yeah.
Nights?
I mean, I've obviously I just really like to dance. I probably it's like dancing and singing are probably neck and neck because I just really like to dance. So, it's just I just felt like I want to do all dance music. I just not that I don't like to sing all that rock stuff, but I don't know. There's part of me that wanted to do some disco and
You're
do
ready to
more
boogie.
Funk. Yeah, I was super ready to boogie.
Ready to boogie.
Yeah. Consistent boogie all the way through. I wanted to boogie for hours.
Which, by the way, let's go ahead and talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
You do boogie all the way. It's exhausting.
It is
I've seen you
exhausting.
guys twice now. I know you've played more than that,
Yeah.
but I've been there twice, and you dance so hard through the whole thing. And how do you do it? I mean, obviously you're in great
but
shape.
I have to. It's like the only thing I do for exercise.
I think
if I
that's-
don't do it, I'm just.
That's what me and you need to start doing is
Yeah.
going to her shows
It's
and just
excellent exercise.
dancing the entire time.
Dancing and
Try
singing.
to outdance me, and I swear to God, it'll just start falling off.
I mean, challenge accepted.
Okay.
I'll
Bro.
come dressed as a banana and just go
Yes!
to town.
Yeah,
That's
but
cheating. You can't.
You-
Don't.
Oh,
no,
okay, that's-
that's totally.
that
well,
was
she wants you
short
to. Never mind. It's fine.
spurts, man. When she
Can I go from bass banana to boogie banana?
Oh my God.
Shit. Is this
Oh
the
my
birth of
God.
something?
Well, this is funny. So that last gig, did you see what Chris's shirt said?
the Cheech and Chong get up.
Yeah, his Cheech and Chong get up, but his yellow shirt said "Beat the Banana."
Oh,
It
yeah.
had this banana.
I'll tie-dye the banana suit.
Dude.
Yes.
Boogie Banana.
It's
Boogie Night
exhausting.
Boogie
show.
Banana.
Look, I'm no shit. It's exhausting to watch her perform. I mean, you are on fire. The first time I saw the Boogie Nights out west in West Knoxville, I mean, and you've got this giant wig. I hope everybody has just pause this and go on Facebook right now and look at Boogie Nights and look at their pictures. You have the most insane photography. You've done
Thank you.
so many.
Thank you.
Tell me about that. What's the concept behind
Well,
it?
early on, I don't know. There was just this idea of I wanted to be different characters from that era. I thought that would just be really fun. At first, I was wanting to be like actual artists. So that's why there's like a George Michael. There was ones I was trying to think that I could pull off, which is really funny because I am. I'll get back to that. But anyway, so I was going to be these different characters. So my sister actually was the photographer, and she's also our graphic designer. And so she did our logo, and she's fabulous. But she's a freelance artist out of Nashville. And my brother-in-law, James, he is also a videographer and photographer, and he does web design and stuff. But he let us borrow all the really nice lights at Belmont. He's a professor there, and so we had the hookup, and I went up there. My girlfriend, Jillian Savage, she is a makeup artist for Glam Nashville. I know, she's fabulous. So she did my makeup, and we just had the most ridiculous weekend going to buy wigs and outfits. And
You pulled out the big guns.
well, they just did a really, really good job. We just had a ridiculously good time. And I will tell you, I can turn into a man so fast. It's really shocking.
Your George Michael was phenomenal.
Thank you. People thought it was weird. I don't care, but I thought it was hysterical. But it was. Jillian's like, "Oh my God, you really do." I was like, "I know. It's really."
Hunter also has that ability. We
Don't look like a man.
we asked him to do it before band
Hunter
practice.
could almost look like a man.
Yeah.
He almost can look like a man.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Almost. He's
Almost.
real close.
Almost real close.
Shit.
That's what I was thinking earlier. I was like, he's almost
So
got
close.
it. Just
Manly.
God bless.
When all
Tarzan.
all of the pictures, all the
Thanks.
promos, everything.
Leave
for
it
Boogie
well, I
Nights is
wasn't
just-
playing. I think the thing is, I just wanted it to be really successful, and I didn't want to lose momentum. I wanted to keep it going, and I know, like I said, I love playing with Peeps, and I wanted to bring Chris back because he's just ridiculously fun, and I wanted a lot. I needed more vocalists. I wanted a lot of that harmony and stuff, and so there's only one drummer in town that can pull it off.
Oh, that man.
That's Sir Andy Campbell.
Mr. Andy Campbell.
I know.
I hope you're listening right now. He is a kindred spirit of mine. We hope to get him on this podcast pretty soon.
Yay! Oh, he's
so busy.
much fun to talk to.
Andy's so busy that he's almost like, I feel bad even asking him to like hang out or anything like that.
No, he would love it.
Andy is such a musical guy. He's a phenomenal drummer. He can play any style. Everybody knows that. I got to actually play on stage with him for the first time like a month or two ago for that Foo Fighters thing, just for a minute. But I mean, he knows more about like guitar players than I do, and he sings like falsetto. He has an appreciation of like, he's the one that sings "Easy Lover" in "Smooth Sailor." Come on, come on.
He does all the Bee Gees stuff.
Oh yeah.
He's a lot of everybody in the Boogie Nights. Like, we just are having so much fun, and we have a really good time together. And it's just really good to play with like all of us to get together and everybody just be so in the moment the whole time and just having a good time. And
totally.
It's so ridiculously fun. And then, of course, we've got Julius Blue, who on the keyboard, which...
Who's like Herbie Hancock.
Yeah, it's stupid. There was a Pop Rocks gig back in like the fall where we had some subs, and that was the lineup that night. And so we all got to play together. Oh. And I remember just looking at Peeps and going, is this it? Is this it? Like, is this the lineup? And, so we kind of went from there. But, yeah, Julius is ridiculous. And for those who don't know, Chris Blue is his brother, which, of course, he's the Knoxville native who won The Voice. So he is one of the fabulous Blue brothers.
Not exactly a slouch himself.
Yeah, listen, they're all just
that's like the
talented.
second coming of the Wooten family. Like
Julius
Victor
is
and
hysterical.
all those Wootens. They're all just like musical geniuses.
Yeah, we have
from birth.
We have a big time, but it really is. I wanted to put together just a really legit group of musicians who can handle just anything, and we're really important. Tight, and it's a lot of fun. It is.
You've really done it.
Well, I want it to look fun, ergo that's why I liked the costumes and the wigs, and I hope to wear more wigs.
Well, that was the thing that I noticed the most.
You may not go. I'm sorry.
No, sorry. It was just it was just the fun factor. I saw you for Pop Rocks a couple times way back in the day, and the musical side of it, from singing and all the instrumentation, stellar. But the part that knocked me off my socks was how just fucking bananas, no pun intended, sorry, everybody was the whole time, including you, and like what Spencer was saying and Casey about like how exhausting it is to watch you, but like in a good way. And the idea that you've moved into this new group with that being like one of the main focuses is just...
Well, that's like early on. Awesome. That's how the Pop Rock started. We dressed up. We were an '80s band. It was costumes. I dressed up like Madonna. The guys wore wigs. Fishnet gloves, and we did the whole. We had fog machines. We had strobe lights. We had lasers. I mean, I'm not kidding. We had a big banner, and I think just over time, it just got kind of stuff. Sort of, the longer you do it, it becomes
more of a chore
to do. Or you lose things here or there, or whatever. So, but to me, I mean, that's what made it. That's what made us everybody enjoy that
Absolutely.
Early on.
100%.
So I
Absolutely.
definitely wanted to keep that because I like it.
And you guys were. I mean, I'll say it. 100%. Full disclosure, you guys were 100% the reason that I was able to really, really. Because I've been a musician a long time, and musicians kind of have a way of getting their head up their ass. Mm-hmm. Can we just go ahead and say it? We all do. But, like,
I'm not a musician, so I would not know anything
so what's
about
your
that.
excuse?
Hang out with you too much.
Hey, he's right. That's right. So there was room up for both of our heads.
Yeah.
In my ass.
Spacious.
But you guys are 100%. I'm sorry to get past that. You guys are 100% of the reason that I was able to really, really embrace an appreciation for things like Lady Gaga and like Kesha. And a lot of people listening to this right now are going, what is he talking about? But seriously, a lot of that stuff is so big. There are a lot of people that heard Lady Gaga on the radio and will never get to see her. Mm-hmm. They'll never catch a concert. She won't ever be in their town. It just seems like this placated thing, and it's on the radio, and it's maybe easy to go, yeah, that's pop music or whatever. But the truth of it is, there's real people in that kind of music, and they really wrote those songs. And when you see it played with any amount of conviction, all of a sudden you get to really see, like a song like Poker Face, which has all these amazing minor chords in it and all this cool stuff.
Honest, I didn't like that. Poker Face I liked Let's Dance was probably like my favorite Gaga song, and I hated Poker Face to listen to it because I used to. There was just I don't know what that. I don't know. There was a Pandora station at work,
sure,
and it just constantly that was the song that just kept playing. It used to drive me absolutely insane. However, like you said, when we went in and did this, we did a big medley of Let's Dance, Poker Face, and Bad Romance, and
it was amazing.
It was actually. I loved it. I mean, I loved doing. I mean, to do it was like, oh my god, it was way more fun.
And learn to play those songs on the guitar, and to see like, wow, somebody really smart wrote this. This is really, really cool, And it's almost Poker Face is almost Russian, and it's whatever. I'm not going to legitimize it. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. But
are you saying Poker Face is communist?
No, it aided in the election.
Got it.
Same thing.
Nailed it.
Yeah. There's some guy in Congress that knows, but no, and like I don't know. I think you guys were this catalyst for a lot of people that will never get to see those things in the same room, and you did it, and it just I don't know. It opened up a whole lot of doors. I think not just for me, probably for a lot of people. And I don't know if you guys ever saw that. You guys probably we're just doing a gig or whatever, but. I don't know. I've been in your audience, and I've been on stage with you guys, which, by the way, thank you. It was amazing.
You're welcome. But the best time.
Just to see the other people that are there, like you guys really provide this thing that they can't get anywhere else. I mean, there's a real special thing that happens. Some of these people that are like, they're maybe people that have families and they can't travel to like other cities to see big concerts, and they're just not avid concert goers, but they want to see a band and they want to see something, and you guys provide that for them right there in their town. It's pretty cool, man.
Well, we are really lucky though that there is a good. I mean, you can play every weekend. You can play every Friday and Saturday night and have a gig in Knoxville, Maryville, in this area, and got Pigeon this whole area, and get paid really well and be respected and be appreciated by the venues, and that's huge. So kudos to Knoxville for allowing us to do that and to keep it going and to keep it feasible to keep doing, and that's awesome. And the people keep coming. I have an extremely supportive community of people who come out.
I saw you have.
It's just
oh man,
for doing it as long as we did it there with the Pop Rocks. And I've talked to Tall Paul about this before too. People come in sort of waves. There'll be a period of time where this is your crowd. And then a little while later, then this thing, and it never fails. There's always another wave of a different group of people who come and but I had to meet a ton of people. Oh, yeah. And just like, you guys and lots of other people who came to see us all the time. I mean, became like family, and they're the ones that, I consider really, really close friends.
I ran into a bunch of them the night you guys played out in Powell, which was on my calendar forever because I live near there. And I was like, oh, man, I can really let it hang out because I'm close to home. It's a quick Uber ride, whatever. Yeah. Not that I'm endorsing bad behavior, but some of you know me. Anyway,
yeah, you are.
And some of you see me get around Val. So anyway, whatever.
But I like the evil laugh. She's here's another shot, Spencer.
That's the same sound you hear the next morning when you're like, what happened to me?
Or went to Keith.
But that happened to be the same night as the Copper reunion. And our very first guest, Keith, who's in Breaking Benjamin now, and he came back to do the Copper. So I was already committed to doing that. It was the same night, and I was like, oh, man. So I missed that show. But later that night, I was on my way home, and I stopped to get food at like Waffle House or something, and a bunch of the people from your show were there, and we were like, what? And it was like fansofval.com,
Oh
yeah, and I was like, how was it? They were like, it's insane. I was like, I know, man, I'm gonna be at the next one, dude, whatever. So
when is the next one? Do we know?
Yeah,
and you guys have a pretty active Facebook page. I know you guys are active on Instagram.
I try to keep it, you got to keep stuff up there, or else Facebook annoys the crap out of you that you're not being.
And is it also? Can they go to? Do you have like a website, like a .com?
Yeah, I do. If you go to www.theboogienights.band, that is our website, and it's Nights with a K. Okay,
Like Knights of the Round
like
Table.
Knights of the Round Table.
Knights of the Boogie.
Yeah, like Knights of the Boogie, man.
Boogie Nights with a K.
Dark
Let's
Knights.
see. So we've got a couple of the next two are private, and then our next public one is May 25th. That's a Friday at Wild Wing Cafe back in Powell. So you get a second chance. man.
Sweet.
Man.
There you go.
Yes.
So I'm going to go ahead and put out an invitation right now. Anybody listening to this
Yeah.
podcast, if you want to come out and get a little crazy, I already know a couple of my friends. Carrie, I know you're listening out there. You're out in Norris. You and Mike bring the whole gang from Anderson County. That's halfway to Knoxville. Come on, I'll get crazy with
It's
you
right
guys.
there.
You know, I don't know. We'll see how crazy I get, but I'll be there and I'll feel crazy. That's it. You want to say that? May 25th?
Yeah, May 25th.
Join
Friday,
us
May 25th.
at Boogie Nights in Powell, Wild Wing Cafe on Emory Road. Brand new place.
It's
gigantic.
really nice.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have to tell you, that patio is really, really nice.
driven
It
by
was
it.
cold. It was cold. It was raining and cold like that last time we played there, so nobody was out on the patio per se. But it's really, I really like the way it's set up. That
It'll be
outdoor
close.
patio feels like it's its own bar out
It'll be
there.
close to the end of May. It's not going to be cold anymore. And
No,
if it's
it'll feel
raining,
great.
we'll set
Yeah,
fire to the rain.
Hopefully.
Boo!
Sorry, you guys.
Are you gonna do
I'm
it?
gonna go May 25th.
Yay.
I'm
Okay.
gonna make sure this guy parties
Are we
hard,
gonna,
and
are we
then
going to agree on it right now?
I'm gonna crash on your couch.
Do you guys need a diabetic driver?
You shake on this.
I have a lot of cats, just so
That's
you know.
fine. I don't mind cuddling with cats. It just in the morning, make sure there's good coffee
wake
for
up
our
on the-
hangover. Now, one thing we always ask our musical guests, also Keith,
God.
what is
All two of them so far.
what is
We asked Keith this the other day.
what is your love for Phil Collins? Do you have a lot of love for Phil Collins?
Yeah.
This guy,
That's why I needed that's why I called Andy Campbell at our last gig the Phil Collins
And
of
you know,
Knoxville.
Keith actually saw that video of you guys and commented to me on Instagram, and he goes, "Dude, they sound fantastic."
Oh, yay.
And I went, "Yeah, they do." And I went, he goes, "Who's that on drums?" I couldn't quite say. I said, "That's Andy Campbell."
Yeah.
She referred to him as Knoxville's Phil Collins, and I totally agree. And Keith was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I know Andy."
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. So it comes full circle there, you know.
Phil Collins all the way.
Yeah,
I think from here on out, that's going to have to be a staple for musical guests.
To
How do you
ruin
feel
it.
about Phil Collins?
Oh, I have a lot of feels. Yeah.
Feels
He's
Give us
getting
some
kinda
more.
old.
What are some of your other big ones?
What do you mean?
Just people you're a fan
Of me?
We'll say
Of like my favorite people,
your
like Valerie.
big
Inspirations.
inspirations.
Yes. Okay. So number one is
Jinx, Yomi Soda.
yeah. Number one is Bonnie Raitt. She's weirdly enough, she's the one who kind of inspired me to keep playing piano, like take piano and stuff.
Oh.
Yeah. We're Ain't Gonna Let You Break My Heart Again, which
Okay.
is just her and a piano, and that was like my goal. I wanted to get good enough so that I could play that, which it's not an easy tune. Got to, So my dad had bought me the book. But yeah, and then I've seen her several times, and she sounds better. I just think everybody should go see her. She sounds better now than she has, than she ever did. I mean, she's just incredible.
She's one of- she's
just
one of those.
ridiculous. She is just, wow, in a class act. It's just very cool. And I think then Tom Petty would be my next. He's my favorite songwriter. And,
Val is
oh my
also.
God, he's getting choked up.
Val's okay to talk about some
Tom
Hall & Oates
Petty.
too.
Yeah. Oh,
Val knows
I
a lot
love,
about Hall & Oates.
Yeah, I know. I love Hall & Oates.
Not that everybody
Now-
doesn't, but she's definitely an.
And I love Shaka Khan.
We've had this discussion.
Listen, I know,
Well,
like,
because
I
you
love
guys
Shaka
used to do the old Shaka Khan, like Rufus.
Well,
and
yeah,
Shaka
I
Khan
used to do
stuff.
Tell Me Something Good, but her, I just think anybody,
I
I
Feel
think
For You,
she,
like-
yeah,
like
listen,
80s.
there are some records. Peeps is the
Midnight
one
Star.
who gave me a ton of records, and I don't know, they're naughty. That record, Naughty, is so naughty. It's so good.
It's so good.
She is.
It
I
sounds like
don't
something
know
you would
what
eat Big Newtons to.
I just like she was. I was asking some friends why. I was asking some friends why, didn't Shaka get to that icon? She's an icon, duh, but she's just not as big as
Whitney Houston or something.
or an Aretha or a Patti LaBelle or in my head I don't, or maybe I don't know, but she just wasn't.
Why do you think?
On the well, I was asking my buddy Justin this once, and he was saying that she was fearless. Like she did a lot of different styles of music. Like she did, like a pop record and a jazz record, and she tried a lot of different. she didn't stick with one thing.
Yeah.
And whereas, you know, some of those other artists, they stayed very true to exactly what they did. People always knew what they were getting with.
Marketable.
And Shaka didn't. She went off and she would do all different sorts of things. But that made her even cooler to me.
Yeah,
I was
me
like,
too.
Oh my God.
I like artists that put on like a lot of different hats like that, you know. I enjoy seeing, if there's an artist that I like to watch their interpretation of the world. You know, like, so if one guy, like one of my favorite guys, Butch Walker, everybody knows, but he does all these different albums and they sound different. And to some fans, that's very off-putting.
No,
I wouldn't
great.
say that.
Butch Walker's fantastic.
Keep going.
No. Oh, guys.
Please don't.
Shut up.
What are you?
The worst.
Say what? You're not a fan.
No.
Spencer, do you remember?
That's okay.
I know.
That's one of those artists.
Well, no, I know. To each their own.
Yeah.
You know, Phil Collins actually did something similar to that. How do you feel about this Tarzan soundtrack?
God.
Shut up, Casey.
Wait, you don't like what? Did he do
No.
Trash in the Camp?
No.
Yeah, he did that with NSYNC.
I have no problem
That
with
was
Tarzan.
Trash in the Camp with
Yeah.
NSYNC.
I have no problem with Tarzan. I have no problem with
That's a great
Disney. I have
jam.
no problem with Phil
We did
Collins.
that in show choir when I was in high school.
I have a problem with Hunter finding it to be.
Are you
cooler
about
than it
to?
is.
Are you yucking my yum right
I'm
now?
not yucking.
It sounds like it.
I'm not yucking your yum.
Sounds like it.
Dunkirk was a great movie. Tarzan was okay.
Dunkirk was a great movie without a heart. So, back to our
Can't talk
guest.
about movies. Can't talk about movies. So,
Oh,
anyways,
that's funny.
No, we could talk about movies, you know, because we don't ever do that.
we got to avoid it.
Okay.
I wanted to ask you something. Me and Spencer got into a conversation about Toto, and what
I
is
have no
the
idea.
best Toto song?
Man, that's a great question.
You know, since we had that conversation, I actually discovered another one that's kind of a
I
contender.
still think "Hold the Line."
I do too. I think
Everyone
that's
says
the-
Africa, but "Hold the Line."
Look, to anybody that loves Africa.
We're asking her, not you. God.
No, well, I know. I think Peeps likes Africa the best. I loved Hold the Line. Like when
So good.
it was. So, I mean, I loved singing
crushed
it.
it.
I loved that song, but
I mean, everyone likes Toto.
Yeah.
Africa's a great song. I just feel like "Hold the Line's" a little bit better.
yeah, Hold the Line worked really good for us. I felt like that was good, and I think Africa works great for
Smooth Sailor.
Yeah,
Totally,
it's perfect.
totally,
So
totally.
yeah, I think in the context
Still have yet
of the
to go to
band.
one of a Smooth Sailor show. I know.
You're kidding.
you're missing out.
Oh my
I know.
God. Okay, well here's there's a little set. So the Boogie Nights share several members of like Smooth Sailor.
That's
so
right.
David Peoples and Andy Campbell both play with Boogie Nights and Smooth Sailor. And because of this, we can't play at the same time. So, which is kind of awesome. So I don't ever have like a
Really?
What are you doing over there?
Rude.
I was looking up that Toto. Just keep
Oh, okay.
going, keep going.
Well, we don't have any conflict, like scheduling conflict. And so I have been able to go and sing a bunch with them, which is so fun. Because, like, I love them. I mean, I was at their first gig, and on their first gig at Barley's, I told Campbell, I was like, you're playing my wedding. And I don't even think I was engaged. Was I engaged? I don't even know. I was like, I mean, that's hard when you play in a cover band and you're trying to pick music for your own wedding. That's tough. But then I was like, their set list.
And I think I was at that gig too. That Barley's gig.
Do you know my favorite Toto song is Rosanna?
That's a
That's
good
my
one.
favorite.
that's a good one.
That's my
Forgot about
favorite. That's my
Rosanna.
favorite. That's my favorite. Sorry.
No,
I do have a favorite.
think,
That's my
I
favorite.
think you might have changed my mind.
I
because-
know it is the best.
You sounded disgusted. Did she change your mind or like hurt you?
No, I
No,
just
you forgot,
No,
and
I
then
forgot
I know
Rosanna
it's
was
so
even.
good. It's so good.
Like I love that song. I just forgot Toto did it.
I don't know if I know that one.
I wish I could play. I think we'd get in trouble if I play it over.
Yeah.
the
Oh my god,
podcast.
because you don't own the rights to it,
No,
and then they'll
it's
come in
so
and
good.
like
I won't
SWAT
hold you
team
back.
shut it
Can
down.
you put it up to your ear real quick? You've heard it, you just don't know it.
For those
That's one
of
of those
you-
that came on the radio, and I was like, "Who in the fuck sings this?" And
Yeah.
I Shazammed it, and it was Toto.
Oh.
And I was like, "Oh."
Spencer is passing. Spencer's passing his phone around so that we can all hear it.
Well, it keeps going to these weird parts. You know what? We'll listen to it after
Audio
the show. Anyway,
visual podcast.
Big
Yeah,
contender.
I know.
I won't hold you back.
But the Smooth Sailor thing. So I've gotten to sing a bunch of them, but in return, I've had the pleasure of having Dave Campbell come up and sing with me, and Pat Baker. Can we talk about Pat Baker?
Oh my god.
I love him.
Can you?
I
you
love
play my
the
the
other night.
Pat
He's
Baker
incredible.
shimmy. He's fabulous.
Can
But
you-
he came and did like 4 songs with me the other night at Scruffy.
You guys do a bunch.
We had that was probably the funnest. Don't go breaking my heart. Somebody has a video of it. Pat is literally jumping back and forth, up and down. Like it's We look
You
insane,
guys
but
had
it's
the
so.
best segue.
We were having the best
The way you
time.
segued into Time of My Life, everybody from the Dirty Dancing soundtrack,
It's so obnoxious.
Valerie goes, I'm having a really good time tonight, you guys. Like, and she kind of looked at me, Pat, I'm really having a good time. In fact, one could say, I'm kind of having the time of my life. And the keys come in right there, you know?
Oh my God.
Yeah, I was like,
So
oh, man,
I
it's good.
can't help it.
It was incredible. It was incredible.
Can you play my wedding? I'm not
Yeah.
even dating, but
Yeah,
whenever I
I'm
do
there.
date and find somebody, I need the Boogie Nights.
Talk to us a little bit about just being a singer and like for instance, like I can imagine like.
Are you trying to get a free lesson?
I'm not.
He's not. I
So-
am. If you can fit vocal lesson stuff in there
Yeah.
while you're telling
Okay,
your
good.
story.
Hunter,
what's it
Hunter,
like
some
playing
people
at an
just
event?
aren't
Also,
teachable.
Vibrato tips.
Okay.
But no, like
Dick.
well, we were talking about how incredibly active you are with Boogie Nights and like the amount of energy and you love dancing, but like you're not always having a great night. I know performers have sometimes you'll be on your way to the gig with a headache or fucking who knows, and like the amount of physicality that you always project live. Everybody's seen it, and like I mean you've got to have like a solid method for just like getting over the hump. You know, I mean, you're bound to have like off nights, but nobody knows. Nobody's
Oh
ever seen
no.
it.
Oh no, they know. People are funny. They will tell you.
You think?
Oh no, I know they do.
People come up to you and tell you, like, talk
Oh
shit?
my god, they say the rudest shit sometimes.
What are some of the things you've heard?
Last year, and there's this couple that have come to see us like lots of times, and I was actually super jazzed to see them. I hadn't seen them in a few weeks, and they showed up, and they always make a great effort to, you know. So I was saying hi, and you know, the woman just looked at me and she goes, "Are you feeling better?" And I was like, "Yeah, I feel fine. You know, like what's so?" And she's like, "Oh, well, I mean, the last gig that we saw was several months ago, and you sounded really sick. So I was just making sure." I was like, and then in my head, I'm just thinking, months ago? Who is sick for 2 months? You just said that I sounded like what you're saying this really rude thing that is very lightly veiled in polite kindness.
let's-
Like you don't really care if I'm better or not. You just want to jab
Let's
the
dice-
F out of
let's-
me right now. Right before my gig, too, I was like,
Oh, you hadn't
that is-
sung yet?
No, I
That's
hadn't
the
even done
worst thing to
anything.
do.
I know. I was like, okay, well,
no.
I said, really? I was like, no, I feel fine, but thank you. Yeah, I must have got over that. I don't know.
Let's dissect this for a second.
Lady just wanted to
Let's
talk shit.
She did. Yeah, they know they
Let's-
do. They don't care.
let's put this under the microscope for a second. This woman has been stewing on the fact that you didn't sound right several months ago.
Yeah.
Obviously-
I think people get that stuff like, you know, I watched some of the, I think Amy Schumer was on Oprah. She was going to get so mad. I have to be really secrety. I have to watch Oprah on my phone. I can't watch it out in the open.
Why not?
Oh, Steve loathes Oprah. She's not
Steven.
Oh my God.
Steven. Oh my God. Just
No, but
don't
anyways, but
mind
she was saying the same
Oprah.
thing too. Like people would just be like, they give you this, they're just saying this thing to you, like, well, you're out, you get up there, so you can take it, you know. You're like, oh, Amy, you know, well, you have that chubby face. How do you deal? You know, like she's like, that's an insult. You know, you just insulted me to my face, but you say it like I'm supposed to just, let me just roll with it. You know, one guy told me that I should be, man, you should just really keep, man, why don't you just why aren't you like you were like 8 years ago? Or no, 10 years ago. He's like, why can't you be like you were 10 years ago? And I was like, wow, because that was 10 years ago. And I was 20-something, and I'm not anymore. I said, well, why don't you be like you were 10 years ago? Why you do that?
Zing.
Not at my gig.
Yeah, like I don't know.
you go
Can
back-
I be-
go back to
It's
Shreveport
a
or
weird.
wherever?
I don't know, but people they'll say whatever. I don't know. I take it. You take it and you smile and you're like, hey.
Can I be your official snapback guy? Where I just show up to every gig and anytime someone says something shitty to you, I can just look at them and be like, hey, I heard Tide Pods taste real great. How about you get on home and try one?
Yeah. I don't know.
Each
It's
gig
fi-
has
I mean,
less
it's fine.
fans.
I do recognize that. You know, it's just, like you said. Listen, we're not all. Yeah. I've had crappy gigs. I've had the flu. I've had allergies. I've had,
Yeah.
You have times where you don't sound the same. You know.
You have to find the lightning rod. You were telling you talked to me about that one time. I think we were riding somewhere together for some. Maybe I was giving you a ride home or something like that. But I remember you were talking to me about like having to sing at like a really awkward event or something like that, and you said that it was super uncomfortable, but you had to do it, and you were just like focusing on this like thing on the wall, like a brick or whatever, just so you would have kind of like a focal point.
Yeah, you always have
and
to
you
do
just
that.
get through it. You know, like
Yeah.
I feel like that takes a lot of nerve.
Yeah, you have to.
That's like when I went on stage for my birthday back in like 2009, and you were singing Lady Gaga, and you made me sing the chorus, and I've completely just forgot it. Like you went, huh? And I went. I looked at you and I went.
One of my favorite things was when you and Stan would get up and do
Beastie Boys.
Beastie Boys with us. That was so good.
Yeah, we came to those gigs just prepared to participate. Valerie would take a sheet of paper out and go, "You guys are singing this right now." We would go, "All right."
Those were the best. Those were good.
Let's
Remember
just go up and
where was that? Rookies?
I think that was Rookies.
God, that was so
over by
scary.
Tuesday morning.
That was so scary. That
That's
was a
the
scary
one where
place.
the whole place turned into a bloodbath one night or
Yeah,
something.
it really
I've got a good
did.
story about that.
Dude, there was literally that we
can't
played
share it
there. I mean,
this
there
is
was
gonna be good.
2 or 3 occasions where an ambulance was called and took people out of there.
Because of you guys?
No, because
Okay.
of the people, the patrons. I don't. There was one that was really bloody. It was really violent.
And you guys are playing.
We were playing Love Shack, and it was.
I just pictured 2 dudes like punching
Someone
each other.
bled during the Love Shack?
Yeah, no, okay,
Oh my
so there
God.
was this is okay, so Peeps does Love Shack. He does a fabulous Love
he
Shack,
does,
and we
he
were
does. He does that male.
I
thing.
know, it's
baby.
so great. But so there was a couple at the bar, and then there was a very inebriated man who was like, I don't know, I guess all up on this guy's woman, and he said, "Hey, knock it off, skedaddle or whatever." Well, he didn't. So the guy takes his big glass, they had the big glass mugs, and he just picked it up off the bar and he just smashed it over the guy's face. Well, it broke. And then he took it the other way.
Oh, fuck.
The broke part over the guy's face again. And then they calmly got up and they leave. Well, this guy who's all kinds of messed up or whatever, well, he is kind of taken aback by this. And at the time, Rookies was there's a door that went to another bar next door. I never went over there, but wasn't there a club-ish next door?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, there was there was another bartender over there he walks over that way into that side of the bar, on that bar. And the bartender sees him. Well, the bartender was ex-military or something.
Whoa.
And he comes over and he's like, "Hey man, are you okay? You are bloody. What happened, And the guy starts being very,
Violent?
or irate, just kind of belligerent. And so the bartender's like, "Okay, I need to get you out of this, away from these people." So they get him to the men's bathroom where the guy proceeds to spit on the bartender. He's bleeding everywhere. The bartender just gets him in a hold and gets him on the ground, and somebody else has to call the ambulance and the police to come get him. All this while we're playing, okay? And
Meanwhile, of course,
we're
Love
just,
Shack.
and we don't quite know exactly all this is going on. Like I said, that event happened, and then that guy sort of went on to other parts. We're not even fully aware of how bad this actually is. Until the ambulance gets there, they come in. Immediately, the ambulance people come right back out of the men's restroom, go put on suits, hazmat-y suits.
Oh, Christ.
And a stretcher, and come back in and have to strap this guy to the... And we're watching this, again, and Love Shack is playing at this point when all this happens. And we are the man's... He had long hair, and this blood is just matted his hair all over him, and he's strapped to this, to the board.
Like a spine
Please
board
tell
or
me he
something.
was singing along to Love Shack as you were pulling him out. He was
You
pulling
can
out and
imagine.
was
You can
"Love
imagine
Shack,
what he was.
baby."
But it was really just, and I remember going, we can take a break. That seemed pretty intense. You probably want to clean or do. And they're like, no, it's okay. Keep going. I was like,
Normal
what?
Tuesday
Like
night.
as usual. Oh,
Yeah, I was like,
oh, God.
okay. And then they just took him out. But then I was talking to the bartender later, and he was like, I was just trying to help him out. He's like, it wasn't until he turned at me and, spit, and then I was bleeding all over me. He was like, I don't know what you have. I don't know what's wrong. I don't know if there's, I don't know what's going on here. I just had to restrain him, and then, the poor guy. It was just very dramatic and very what is
I
happening?
love how you're having
right
to
now?
kind of also co-manage that situation from the stage. She's like, "Oh, okay, folks, it's going to be a couple minutes on the men's room till we get that cleaned up."
Yeah,
but
I was like,
in the
well,
meantime, the back bar is still open.
Kind of wondering if in between Love Shack you were singing lyrics but also telling the story of what's going on. Like, it, people's got up there and was like, that guy's bleeding all over the men's room. Love shack, it's a little night.
It's a little
Don't go
men's
to the
room
men's
that's-
room covered in blood. We don't know what he has.
Bravo, Casey.
Oh,
Holy shit, that was funny. I'm not used to you being that lucid.
I don't know. I think anybody who's played in a band or played any kind of place like that, there's a story like that. We've had people, back in the Raitt days,
You've seen some shit.
Oh my God. You think that, I just remember having this feeling of like, how they always told you like there's too much violence on TV and there's too much sex and you've been bombarded with all this, you're desensitized. Okay, I really am not, apparently, because when you see this stuff happen in real life, you are not prepared. And I remember there was a couple having sex in a booth mere 2-3 feet. Yes.
In a booth?
Yes. And and it's all visible. Like,
Was this at Rookies too?
No, this was at Raitt.
Okay.
And that was only one of the times. And I just remember like watching it, and I couldn't even. I didn't know.
Was
what
that
to
the moment
do.
you were like, we need to start singing Love
I
Shack?
just raised my hand. I was like, we need an adult. Or
Did they have
something.
Fig
Like, I need
Newtons
authority.
in the booth?
They weren't old enough.
No, okay.
No, they weren't old enough. But the older gentleman in overalls who was just laughing, watching them from across the booth.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm talking about like just you're not even. I was so.
He was like, go, Randy, go.
Oh
Go
my
for
God,
the
it
gold,
was
Randy.
so weird.
dude,
we were all just like,
They've seen
it was
it.
like another world. It was so bizarre. And
They've
then, of course,
seen it
all they
all.
can do is they just say, like, okay, well, you guys can't do that here. So either stop
No.
and stay
Half-price appetizers.
or
I've
you
never-
can leave.
I've never
And-
had illusions about it, but I now recognize how sheltered I am at the open chord with all the stuff that I do
Oh,
there.
yeah. It's like
Yeah.
a petting zoo
So-
compared to these other places.
It's been so long since I've been to any of the other venues.
Well,
and just-
thank God. I got to tell you, man. Thank God you're such a great storyteller and you have such a good sense of humor. No, really, because like I feel like you can process some of this stuff because you acknowledge the level of ridiculousness a lot of the stuff happens on. Like imagine if it was somebody that was not Val that was dealing with some of these things and seeing people. She's seen people at many stages of their life, like in various states of disrepair, like all over
Well, I think
town.
eventually, what it did was at first, like I'm from a small town, so like I'm very concerned. Like when I joke about being a people pleaser, I'm not really kidding. I like to, like I want to be polite. I want you to have a nice time. I want to, because that's what I'm there to do. And when people would you don't know how to confront it or call it out or make it stop or, sometimes. And I think there was a learning curve early on as to, you can't be polite anymore. And like what you said earlier, Hunter, about having the mic and comes power. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you better believe, like the second I started just letting it fly, like, yeah, it curbed a lot of that. People don't like to get called out. Well, stop messing with our equipment or stop coming. You know what I mean? Like, knock it off. It just so eventually I got to where I could stick up for myself a bit more, which is good.
I've been getting shit for the better part of a year from my brothers for that. Actually, I had it was a good thing that happened, but I had one gig where I gave them a very specific shout out that was like super heartfelt and everything. But again, I'm the baby of 3, so I was like, now is my chance because you can't do shit about it.
That's right.
And I said that, and they were like, they'll deny this publicly in comments probably, but they were like, hey man, that meant a lot. You fucking dick. Just, why? You made me cry in front of other people. Now I have to hurt you.
I definitely think I was at that show.
You were at that show.
I remember looking and being like, "Ooh, don't look back.
look.
Don't look back. Just keep looking at Hunter. Don't look back. Don't look back." And then like it's one of those things where you make eye contact with them, and then you look at them like I didn't see this, and you just look back forward. And you're like, I'm
telling anyone.
It was very
You see
sweet.
something happening, you just keep looking away. You know,
Well, I mean,
you just
dude-
decide I'm not gonna get involved in that.
I don't know why it's a stigmatism of like the male culture, but if you're in
Stigma,
public,
I think.
Stigma.
Stigma.
What did I say?
You said stigmatism with the
Whatever.
I.
Lava. It's lava.
Yeah,
Fine, but stigma, yes.
King Gamora.
You.
Hey, we're all using our own terms.
But
here.
no, I think it's one of those things like if you're a dude and you're caught out in public and someone catches you off guard and you get emotional, you get angry for some reason. You're like, no one look at me. Don't look at me. Don't acknowledge that I'm emotional right now.
Men are so awkward with emotions, especially when they're unexpected. You know?
Yeah.
That's probably why guys act so fucking stupid all the time.
I'd say so,
You
yeah.
know, like we're.
Am I wrong?
We probably
Am
just
I
got
wrong?
caught
I
off
feel
guard
like-
by something.
I feel like if I was in public and I mean, there's been times where I've been at work and I've watched one of those Sarah McLachlan dog rescue videos, and I automatically, I'm just like, that poor puppy has such a happy life now. And then people are like, are you okay? And I'm like, don't look at me.
I was actually
I feel like Phantom
notorious.
of the Opera. Like
You become
I'm,
violent.
I'm at like the organ, and I'm like, don't look at me, I'm sad.
I was notorious in my friend group growing up for if I got upset, angry, or sad about anything, if you made eye contact with me or I could feel your eyes on me, I would start steaming and just like get real aggressive and be like, "Don't fucking
I wanted to-
look at me right
We're getting near the end of our time here, and
Yes.
We're not
Oh, sad.
two-parter with Buckner.
I'm gonna
Two-part-
Tippett.
Two-part
I'm gonna
buck
need
too.
Okay, well then, we're nearing the end of part one, so you would have
Oh
got.
my god, that's so exciting.
Why don't you go ahead and talk about the internet poll that you?
Oh my god, I'm so
created.
excited.
So we did an internet poll
Yes.
of who does top sheet and who is
Let's talk a
normal.
little bit about the origins of this poll. Like
Define
we
this, yes.
started to hear. I started to read some things where people were talking about young people, or like specifically millennials and like younger people now don't use a top sheet when they. This is talking about your bedclothes. That it's just a fitted sheet, like the
Maybe they
stretchy
weren't
fitted
because
sheet.
they weren't raised with Martha Stewart.
Maybe not.
I was.
She was in jail.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But we were.
Only people born while Martha Stewart were in jail, or during that really
That really
influential-
brief time
was
where
gone
she
for a few
wasn't
years.
spreading
Thanks a lot, Martha.
civil
Yeah, now look what
Betting.
you've done to our youth.
advice.
But some people don't sleep at the top sheet. Some people do. I always just did because it was sold with the sheets. I just used all the sheets that came in the package.
Very good at taking
I
instructions.
know I'm a simple creature, but apparently a lot of people don't. So we put it to a poll. Casey launched it on Facebook, and it really got it was a lot of heat. Go ahead and talk about it.
So the poll ended with, I believe it was like 61% to 49% or something like that.
But it was not
That's
a
a
friendly
lot
margin.
closer than I would have ever thought. I would have thought
And
just
61% being the top sheet people. But man, I gotta say, the top sheet people are hateful.
Now, which one are you?
I'm just one blanket.
Comforter?
I like one. I mean, I have a comforter, but it's like it's one that you can wash in a washing machine to be fine. You don't have to like take it to a dry cleaner. It's
Okay.
not like one of those big fancy ones. I can toss it into the washer, put it on heavy, and just go, and it'll be fine.
Let me ask you this.
But it's kind of heavy, and I like just that one big heavy blanket. I don't like waking up feeling like I'm being tied by pirates, that are trying to get my treasure. They're tying my feet with the top sheet.
Oh my
I
God.
move a lot
feel
when
like
I
you've got
sleep.
Oh my
things in-
God, Casey, that's not the comforter, sweetheart.
Yeah,
No,
the pirates
it's
trying
the
to get your
top sheet.
treasure.
I'm saying it's when
Oh my
when
God.
I used a top sheet, the top sheet would get like I would move, toss and turn when I slept, and the top sheet would get
Sure.
like tied up by my ankles, and I'm
Yeah,
like
your treasure
I feel-
chest gets a little loose in there.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's not. I don't like it.
Let me ask you this real quick before
It's 59 to 41. I just checked.
59 to
That's where it
41.
ended. 59 to 41.
That's even closer.
That's
okay,
even, wow.
so check it out.
That is really shocking.
59% use a
You're
top sheet.
not a top sheet guy.
I'm not. I
How
like
do you,
one big
How do you
blanket.
manage the temperature in your bedroom?
So in the summertime, I turn the AC on, and then I crank a oscillating fan to like full blast, hop under the cover, and get it nice and cold in my room. Like
You sleep with a cold room.
67, 66 degrees in my room.
Just what's going on with Hunter over there? Hunter, would you like to tell us what you're thinking about? Something clearly appears very funny.
He just got the pirate joke. It took him a second.
Shivering my timbers.
Yeah. But no, I like sleeping in really cold temperatures and then putting a heavy blanket and
Just you turn the AC on in the summer. That's how you start.
it's hot outside.
No, it's just so normal.
I'm sorry. Maybe I should have clarified. I turned the AC down to a colder temperature. So sorry I wasn't more specific.
I'm
Hunter.
sorry.
I wish you guys could be better friends.
Yeah.
Clearly, that pirate thing is coming.
If he was a better person, we could be. I feel bad now.
No, it's cool. It's cool. I mean, to be honest,
That's awesome.
to be fair, I really only like to be friends with people who can actually
Lady's
sing.
gonna
So
kick my
that's why I really am
ass.
more of a friend with Val.
Oh, now she's going to kick your ass.
So, Hunter, what about you? What's
She's
the
so
top,
torn right now. She's like, I hate both of them.
Yeah, she just won't talk to either
What's your
of us.
top sheet business over there? What do you do? Are you a top sheet guy? You're the youngest one here.
I'm the oldest one here.
And you don't use a top sheet.
He's lying.
You agreed with me.
Yes, I don't use the top sheet. I did as a child growing up, but that was used as a blanket because I don't like to overheat, and I overheat
uncomfortable.
easily. So
It's really uncomfortable.
no, he's right.
Everybody
He's
gets
totally
there?
right.
Okay.
The
What's
blanket
your room temperature like?
as cold as possible, and if it's not working, naked next to a fan.
Jesus,
That's the way I like him in the bed.
that's sexy.
That's the way I like Hunter. Naked next to a fan.
Val, what about you? How do you sleep?
Very
Excuse me.
traditional. I just do-
Everybody just leaned in close to
Yeah,
the speaker.
I do what
Whoa.
my mother made the bed. I mean, I use all the sheets. I have I like a duvet and a duvet cover because I like options.
Right.
I'm a girl, so I like to change the room up occasionally. So I don't want to get stuck
How many
with a
pillows do you have on your bed? Decorative and then purposeful.
cover. 5 decorative, 4 purposeful.
Nice.
And then I believe the guest bed has more.
Well, and I like that too. I like that.
But if you get you can get a really light duvet.
yeah, and you can remove
Like a cover
layers,
duvet,
you know?
yeah, like that comforter to, insert, and so it doesn't have to be a really, because I know what you're talking about. I've had a really heavy comforter, and you end up using just a top sheet, or most of the time, because Steve gets really hot, so he's like a furnace.
I'm
so
a
it's
natural
normally,
oven.
yeah. So I don't know. I think it depends, but I went from sleeping just on growing up, and even in college, I would sleep on top of the entire bed with just a blanket. So I slept on the comforter and everything. So it would always stay made.
Well, a lot of people were just all upset saying that people who don't use a top sheet are just filthy and getting their comforters nasty. And I was like,
Well, I
Shout
think
out
it's
Emily.
okay, but I see what she's saying though, because a lot of times, like you said, at least you can wash your comforter. Comforters aren't easy to wash, and they're a pain in the ass to take to. I've had comforters where you have to take them to the thing. So yeah, they're funky. They're like a funky hotel. And if you got dogs, or like I have dogs, and you're not washing it all the time. I mean,
but I
I
always
wash my
take-
sheets once a week. I mean, all the.
Yeah.
now here's the next question: who is a morning shower? Who's a nighttime shower? Because
Nighttime.
I take a shower right before I go to bed.
I think it's actually better
so I
for
feel
you.
like that
It's
way
very
it's
good.
cleaner.
It's better to do that, I think, because you get all the pollen and all the dirt.
There is no
especially
greater
allergies.
feeling than getting out of a shower and hopping into a freshly washed sheeted bed
It's very nice.
great.
where it's
What do you
still
do?
nice and
Super
warm
satisfying.
and it smells like delicious
Gain.
Gain.
Yes.
Gain detergent is the best
It's the
for bedding.
best.
She's the guest. You owe her a soda.
That's fair.
Beer.
Beer. We're all men here.
Beer, please.
I only look like one. We talked about that earlier.
You only look.
All right, well, guys, we're starting to get near the end of our time now on that, so we probably ought to go ahead and wrap up. Casey, have you got anything else there? And you want to tell people where they can find us on the social medias and whatnot?
I really want to get some of those mailbag questions in.
I actually got several this week.
Did you?
Some
Good.
people emailed me. Yeah. It may
Did
not
they
have gone-
email you or email them?
Well, some people just texted them in, but
Okay.
we're starting to get there.
We have a lot of good comment action and stuff, but
Yeah.
send actual emails too.
You guys know you're like the only, other than Bill Burr, you're the only other podcast I've ever listened to.
Oh my God!
Awesome.
Ever? Whoa.
Check out Joe
I know. I
Rogan.
didn't
you so
actually even
much.
know what we were going to do. I was like,
We didn't either.
well, yeah, I was like, do they how do they pick what they're going to talk about?
We have a very strict plan with bullet
Usually
points. that we
it
stick
starts
to.
off with me saying something funny. We introduce ourselves, and then Spencer goes, "Casey, what do you want to talk about?" I'm like,
But it was super.
you're
But it
so
was
right.
really.
Then we
But it
just bitch.
flows. But it flows really well. I felt like you
I-
had some kind of weird. I did think there was some kind of list of stuff, but you really
No.
don't. You guys
And usually
are
me and Hunter
completely
have a lover's
unprepared.
quarrel
This
at
is
least
like the
once an
most.
episode.
At least once.
It's really unprofessional in this room.
You know
I didn't
what?
realize how though.
We
I
actually
mean, how
made
much
a list before
really.
we started the podcast.
Did you say
and then just
unprofessional?
Yes,
abandoned it.
like
We actually, me and Spencer have a list of like 30 topics. We have yet to cover
These
one
ought to
of
be
them.
good things to talk about. People ought to enjoy these topics.
Valerie
Give a
is
fuck, you.
Valerie is not wrong, but Mr. Glenn Jacobs, we will clean up if you ever.
Oh,
No, we
Glenn,
won't.
come on.
No, we won't.
Glenn,
Don't lie to him.
There you go. That's why he's not on here, because they listen and they hear you.
Yeah, and that, and I don't vote.
Glenn, never mind. We'll see you. We'll see you at the polls, buddy. You know.
But no, so you can find us.
I was like, maybe they're going to go back and reconsider this. You know.
You can find us on Instagram and Twitter, both at Beacon House Knox. Please email us at beaconhouseknox@gmail.com.
Are you selling this coffee?
We are
No,
not.
it's a reward only.
Only for guests.
Only for special guests. That's
So
a
if-
special blend. You can't get that anywhere.
Yeah.
Anywhere. But maybe down the road we will make it available.
You know where you get that? You know where you get that? Nowhere. You get it nowhere. Nowhere.
Yes.
Well, real quick, and Valerie, tell us where they can find you. How people can find you on
we're-
Facebook, Instagram,
Yeah,
anywhere.
please look. We're at Boogie Nights.
With the
Nights
K.
with a K.
Nights with a K on Instagram, and then I think it's really easy on Facebook, like at the Boogie Nights. It's super easy. Yeah, it's literally at the Boogie Nights on Facebook. So
And even better, show up at a show. Come out and see them.
yeah, or check out our website www.theboogienights.band, and it has our calendar for the entire year already on there.
Pick
It's
your
got
poison.
pictures. It's got all kind of stuff.
I tell you, and I'll use it as a promo for this episode. But there was a fabulous picture at the last show when you had these shiny silver boots, and when you see them, you'll be like, did Prince leave his boots around here somewhere? And you put them right at the front of the stage, and there was a rose for some reason of rose
Somebody did
laying
give me
there,
a rose.
and we laid the rose right on top of the like shiny little platform boots or
Beautiful.
whatever.
It's a perfect
It was an
photo.
album cover, and it's
Yeah,
going to be
it's
probably
really-
the promo for this
yeah.
episode. So.
Hell yeah.
So Valerie, we love you.
Oh my God, thank you guys for having me.
You
This
have a
was really
standing
fun.
invitation to come back anytime. Now you know
yeah.
where we are. You know when we are. Anytime. If you think of like, man, I really want to go and talk about some shit, you have a standing invitation to come back here anytime. And we just appreciate you. I appreciate you for being such a dear friend for so long. And thanks so much for like coming and hanging out with us and stuff. And so it looks like May 25th
Yep.
is going to be
Yeah.
the. we're
Oh
gonna
my God,
see-
I would really super duper
I'm counting
love
on
to
some
see
listeners
everybody.
to show up there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
I'll bring people.
Can I just say already though, like I have the best friends like ever. Like you guys coming out and and being so supportive, and I really really appreciate it because that's that's huge.
And I do want to make a shout out real quick to the best friend that Knoxville can ever have, Mr. AJ Dave.
AJ Dave.
God, my
AJ
chocolate.
Dave.
Oh, did you know? I mean, this is a
I
fun
like-
fact.
wait,
Me
what
and
did
AJ
you-
were.
what did you call him?
Well, we were in a band together a
Really?
long time ago.
Really?
Holy
Yeah.
shit, really?
What did he do?
Yeah,
What did
oh
he
my
play?
God, you didn't know
What
this?
does he play?
It's gonna be part 2, man.
No, literally, he came and like even we brought it back with the Pop Rocks at several gigs. I can't believe you missed this.
What does he play? What instrument?
Well,
or does he sing?
it was chocolate and the chips. And he was chocolate, and me and our friend Lori, we were the chips. And unfortunately,
Does
there was
AJ
a
sing?
terrible factory fire, and so we lost one of the chips, and so it was just me, chocolate, and the chip, and we just
Does AJ sing or does he play the guitar? Or
yeah, he totally sings.
What?
getting
Yes,
t-shirts made
How
right
do
now.
you not know this? How
Because
did
he
you-
doesn't share anything with
Chocolate
me.
and the chips.
I've been wanting to get a yearbook photo of him for the longest time, and I know someone who has a yearbook
we do.
with his photo in it.
Yeah, we do.
And this person has been told by AJ that he's not allowed to show it, and because AJ Dave is such a sweetheart, this person's like, I can't.
Oh.
AJ Dave's too nice. But it's funny that I call him my chocolate thunder because he's what shakes my world.
And on that note, folks, we want to thank Valerie for being here.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And
Thank you, guys.
we're going to sign off right now. And my name's Spence.
That's Casey.
That's Hunter.
I'm Valerie.
We'll see you guys soon, okay?
Oh, I really don't like commitment.